call from California Wild. An inmate at the Argent Avenue Correctional Facility, San Diego, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel.
Hello, and thank you for accepting my call. You are listening to the California Island Podcast, recorded over a state prison telephone and available to you for free at pensideout.org. Music and the Brain. The 4 Ways That Music Affects Your Mood and Mind by Barry Goldstein. 1. Emotion. Research indicates that music stimulates emotions through specific brain circuits. We can easily see how music and the brain engage mood and emotion when a child smiles and begins to dance to a rhythm. He is experiencing an uplifting mood of joy from the music. We also see this when parent and child connect through song. Have you ever listened to a mother singing a lullaby to her newborn baby? It is probably one of the most significant bonding experiences between people you will ever witness. Listening to music can create peak emotions, which increase the amount of dopamine, a specific neurotransmitter that is produced in the brain and helps control the brain's reward and pleasure centers. We often feel emotions are experienced from our heart, but an enormous part of emotional stimulus is communicated through the brain. Our newfound understanding of how music affects the brain and heart is leading to innovative ways to utilize music and the brain to create emotional understanding between people. A study from the Journal of Music Therapy shows that using songs as a form of communication could increase emotional understanding in autistic children. The study incorporated specific songs to portray different emotions. For example, a composition by Beethoven could be used to represent sadness, or the song Happy by Pharrell Williams could be used to represent joy. The children could then indicate and identify emotions based on the songs that represented them. Music succeeded where verbal language failed. Music was able to bridge the brain and heart. Music invokes and engages our emotions in many stages of our lives, both individually and in groups. Music can invoke the deepest emotions in people and help us process fear, grief, sadness, and resentment, even if these emotions are held on a subconscious level. 2. Memory. Imagine an elderly man in a wheelchair. His head drops down to his chest, almost in a state of unconsciousness. His name is Henry, and sadly, he is disconnected from the world around him due to severe Alzheimer's. What might reconnect him to the world and improve his awareness? The movie Alive Inside chronicles how music can assist in regaining parts of memory and improve the brain health and quality of life of Alzheimer's patients. One of the caretakers in Henry's nursing home interviews his family to find out the type of music Henry used to enjoy listening to before his Alzheimer's affected him. By creating playlists incorporating music specifically for Henry, the caretaker helps Henry reconnect with the world around him and brighten his mood. His eyes open, he is aware, and he is able to communicate. He was reconnected.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
He was reconnected to his life from the music, his music. A 2009 study from Petra Janetta at the University of California, Davis, found that there is a part of the brain that associates music and memories when we experience emotionally salient episodic memories that are triggered by familiar songs from our personal past. In other words, our own familiar music can reconnect people with deep, meaningful memories from their past, like it did in Henry's case. 3. Learning and neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life and can be greatly affected by the harmony of music and the brain. According to MedicineNet.com, neuroplasticity allows the neurons, nerve cells, in the brain to compensate for injury and disease and to adjust their activities in response to new situations or to changes in their environment. To further clarify, when our brain is damaged, it can find or create new pathways to function properly. Amazingly, music can provide the stimuli to create these new pathways and to help the brain rewire itself in the case of brain injury. For instance, in a groundbreaking study by the University of Newcastle in Australia, popular music was used to assist patients with severe brain injuries in recalling personal memories. The music affected the patient's brain ability to reconnect to memories they previously could not access. It's like getting directions to a location. If a road is closed or you are stuck in traffic, there is sometimes an alternate route to get to the same place. Music can help map that alternate route in your brain. A great example of this is shown in the case of former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords. Congresswoman Giffords experienced a brain injury as a result of a gunshot wound, which affected her brain language center and left her almost unable to speak. By engaging her brain through music therapy, singing, and melodic intonation, she was able to provide new information to the mind through music and create a reorganization that helped her to make the connections necessary to relearn language. This is an extreme case, but many of us have experienced some kind of neuroplasticity in our normal lives. Neuroplasticity, simply put, is our brain's ability to repair connections and find alternate pathways to memories, emotions, and even physical systems such as speech. And utilizing music is a wonderful...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Utilizing music is a wonderful way to achieve this effect. 4. Attention. Ever hear a song that engages you so profoundly it takes hold of your mind's full attention? By engaging our brain and our attention in the right ways, music is able to activate, sustain, and improve our attention. Using brain images of people listening to short symphonies by an obscure 18th century composer, a research team from the Stanford University School of Medicine investigated the power between music and the mind to hold our attention and showed that peak brain activity occurred during a short period of silence between musical movements, when seemingly nothing was happening. This led the researchers to theorize that listening to music could help the brain to anticipate events and hold greater attention, just as the listeners demonstrated when they seemed to pay closest attention during the anticipatory silences between musical movements. My theory is that these silences are indeed part of each composer's intention to guide the listener in interpreting and integrating the music in their brain. It is the space between the notes that captivates our full attention and allows the busy mind to communicate and integrate with the heart. It is in these silences where our focus is total and complete. The true balance and healing can occur as our brain and heart move into coherence. On the other hand, we have all experienced how certain types of music, while affecting our mood, can also distract us or make us inattentive to tasks at hand. This makes complete sense. Unlike the attentive silences of the previous study, some songs can negatively engage our attention as we become part of the song's story or scene. Lyrics are descriptive and engage our analytical mind, and lyrically heavy music could divide the attention of many people's brains.
Movement.